YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we are back in between the ropes. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. We love all things entertainment this way. And WWE RAW has found a way to become entertainment one way or the other. CM Punk comes out, opens the show. They're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so he makes a couple quick comments about the NBA playoffs. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter who you're cheering for. You just got to make sure you're watching WWE RAW and SmackDown. All right, brother. Anyways, he lets everybody know how important it is for him to get some gold back around his waist. How important it is for CM Punk to win a championship. Unfortunately, brother, we all know you ain't going to win no championship. It'd be nice. CM Punk has had some of the greatest money in the bank cash in, so I think it'd be dope in 2025 for CM Punk to do it again, but he doesn't really need it. Doesn't really need it at all. And it seems like, brother, you can do all you want, but you're not going to be able to escape the Seth vortex. No one will really be able to escape this dude right here. This dude, Sami Zayn, literally has main character syndrome. If you pay attention, over the last few years, Sami Zayn has been doing anything in order to become relevant. He keeps sticking his nose into business that has nothing to do with him. He continues to latch himself onto anybody that is main event talent and just squeezes himself into that discussion for some strange reason. He comes out and addresses CM Punk and talks about how important it is for CM Punk to win it all. Brother, CM Punk knows that. You're talking to somebody who won the Money in the Bank twice. You're talking to somebody who's been in search of a championship for the last couple of years. Why are you out here? He warned CM Punk about how bad things are going to be if Seth Rollins wins. Brother, we don't want to hear nothing that you got to say because you were running around with Roman Reigns. You were literally dying. You were Roman Reigns' #1 fan. You wanted to become a part of the bloodline, even though you were actually not related to anybody in the bloodline at all. You wanted to become an honorary Uso so bad. We don't want to hear nothing you got to say about Seth Rollins. We don't want to hear anything you got to say about the championship at all. Brother, they offered you an opportunity to go to SmackDown and get a title shot. You turned it down because you got pride. You got morals. You too good for that. I got to make sure I help my buddy Jey Uso. Oh, did you remember, Sami Zayn? Your buddy Jey Uso has the championship? That seems to have slipped out of his mind because he talks about how important it is for CM Punk to win and for him to get gold. Completely forgetting the fact that your boy, the one that you've been chasing around the last couple weeks and yeeting with, he has the championship right now. He even mentions that if CM Punk's able to secure the championship after cashing in, assuming that he's winning the Money in the Bank and assuming that he's winning the match later this evening, those two are going to be in the match together. Yo, Sami, are you ridiculous? Are you out of your mind? What the heck have you done to deserve that title match? Poking your nose around in other people's business? That's not how this works. Go on somewhere. So this dude starts forming a pack with CM Punk, which is crazy work because, again, you are against Seth Rollins so bad that you start to align yourself with CM Punk, his op. Let's not forget how much Sami Zayn is a snake. This dude came out there and greeted Cody Rhodes after he won the Universal Championship like he wasn't a geeker from Roman Reigns. He was out there with Jey Uso like you weren't the one who was fiending to take the tag team championships away for Jey Uso. You were doing the with Jey Uso like you wasn't running against him for months. Sami Zayn is fake. He can do all this moral high ground stuff, brother. You fake. You fugazi. Speaking of fugazi and fake, we got Liv Morgan showing up matching up against Ivy Nile and Stephanie VAQUER. I ain't gonna lie, Stephanie VAQUER just oozes aura. They've done a really good job of her presentation thus far, and I think it was dope that she's got called up to Raw, but her losing the championship the way that she did, like the 2 championships that she won, the way that she did was actually ridiculous. She fought Julia for a championship, won the championship, and then decided to just give it up. And then later on, she's defeated by Jane. Whatever. And then decides to just head over to Raw and battle for her Money in the Bank championship. Like she's not supposed to be at AAA. Whatever. Anyways, a solid enough match. There's a couple good moments in it. Or whatever. I mean, we get to see Stephanie VAQUER a little bit. She's a singles competitor, so we know that that's where she shines. Anyways, there's a little bit of tomfoolery, which leads up to Stephanie VAQUER winning the match. Seems like Liv Morgan wants to do anything other than defend her tag team championships. But if you're smart and remember, most of the tag teams obliterated, particularly in the women's division. I mean, we have tag teams that have been released, and we got every tag team that got put into the dirt after the tag team gauntlet that went on, where a team that was developed in one night, Bayley and LYRA VALKYRIA, just run through everybody. So now, and I mean, one match you destroyed everything that Bianca and them have been working hard to prove. And let's not forget, Lash Legend and J.R. Jackson are no longer a tag team because Dakar got released. So last year of Bianca and Jade and Naomi putting on night in and night out in order to increase the relevancy of the tag team championships has been squandered, as there's no more tag teams. We literally have the Secret Herbis, who have no wins. So Liv and them are just going to walk around with the shiny gold. We do get a Chad Gable promo, how he glazes Grande Americano. This dude is just ridiculously hardworking. I mean, there's assumptions that this dude is Grande Americano, and he's been fighting in 2 matches a night. Just amazing. Speaking of matches, we got another Judgment Day and War Raiders match. And the New Day come out to commentate, which I think is the best part of this match, but unfortunately they get ejected for some strange reason. I don't even know what the ref was thinking about. So that was crazy. So again, I mean, a tag team that was holding the tag team championships has just been getting cooked by the Judgment Day now. I mean, I don't know how many times we've seen these guys match up, but it's been a lot. Because if you recall, matching up against these guys is what led to JD McDonough getting injured in the first place. Didn't they just fight last week? I don't even know what's going on anymore. But anyways, after a Roxanne intervention, distraction, we get Finn Balor actually pinning somebody again. So that's the only time we're ever going to see Finn Balor getting any success. That is going to be in the tag team division. Look, I know, Finn, you've been wanting the heavyweight championship. You've been wanting the Universal Championship. You've been wanting the Intercontinental Championship. You don't even have the tag team championship right now, but you can rely on Roxanne to help intervene and get you a couple wins. And this is shortly after Liv Morgan told Roxanne to stay out of her business. We later get a segment 2 with the Judgment Day in the clubhouse, where they're all bickering, and unfortunately the TV is off because there's no more Carlito. We do get Dom wearing a Carlito shirt, though. It's very apparent, and Liv Morgan even just gets straight to the point, cuts to the chase, and says, Finn Balor, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to tear us apart. Finn's like, no, I just want to see everybody win. And y'all know, I like to kind of grade these things, yay, nay, and somewhere in the middle we'll find okay. Up to this point in the show is nay. Like, again, we're just rehashing matches. We're just, throwing things together. At least Finn Balor has solid memory and remembers that since Liv Morgan has came back, she's been losing. So again, somebody who's been built up over the last few months, taking a bunch of L's. And even though we've been seeing Dominic Mysterio holding the Intercontinental Championship, he has been, it's like no challengers are in the picture anymore. Everybody just wants to go get the World Heavyweight Championship. So Dom has nothing to do with it at this point. But apparently we're building to this and maybe Finn challenging. I don't even understand. But speaking of the Intercontinental Championship, VALKYRIA calls Becky Lynch out again to talk about what they're going to do in their match and how important it. Look, this story is nice, but again, it lacks depth. I understand that Becky was somebody that you looked up to at one point. I understand that Becky was somebody that got you into wrestling, and you're so thankful that you're able to have tutelage for somebody like Becky Lynch, but now she's turned her back on you, so you want to put her face in the dirt. The only good thing I got about this promo is Lyra's like, well, I'm able to tap into one thing I needed, and that's anger. But this is the same thing we've seen for weeks. Other than Becky Lynch turning her back on Lyra, this really doesn't have any meat to the bones. You had to ask me. But I think it'll be a solid match. I'm not mad at them continuing to come out every week, but I am kind of mad at them continuing to come out every week and saying the same thing. Like, I mean, we could dig a little deeper. When I was young and I was looking to become a wrestler and I was trying to find a way out, I had to look up to somebody who would be able to do it from my hometown. This, like, we could be getting a lot deeper than this. As a young girl coming out of like this could be something, but no, I was successful. You stabbed me in the back, and I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna beat you again. So she's just treating Becky like a regular, and then Becky's treating her like a regular. So there's not really any depth here. Speaking of regulars, and look at this weirdo, man. Sami Zayn comes out of the crowd to yeet with Jey Uso. I'm telling you, Sami Zayn is a leech. Anyways, he gets out there, they get crazy, they match up against these boys right here, the Brons. I'm not upset about these guys backing Seth Rollins, but I don't think it makes any sense. Bronson Reed was headed an upward trajectory before his injury. I'm going to let it slide, though, because he was doing anything he could in order to become relevant and show people that he was someone to be reckoned with. So it's good to see that he's been the muscle for Seth Rollins. But I don't quite understand why Braun Breaker is aligning himself with Seth Rollins. I mean, what are you gaining out of this? You have no gold right now. You have no individual trajectory. You're somebody who's supposed to be headlining WrestleManias over the next few years if Seth Rollins is able to gain the gold, but you have no motion right now. I mean, you would think if you just won the Intercontinental Championship, you'd been doing your thing with the Intercontinental Championship. If you're no longer worried or interested in challenging for that, wouldn't the next step be looking for one of the World Championships? Looking for a Tag Team Championship? I mean, what are we doing right now? Braun Breaker's literally just a robot. He's like the Terminator right now. Just handling all Seth Rollins' dirty business. Why? I mean, couldn't he just align himself with Paul Heyman and continue to move about his business? I mean, he was getting tutelage from Paul Heyman when he had the Intercontinental Championship. So why does he now need to follow Seth Rollins around? I don't get it. I mean, I'm sure Braun Breaker would be thinking that Seth Rollins is one of his peers. I mean, he showed up in the Royal Rumble, started attacking Roman Reigns, and afterwards he continued to attack Roman Reigns with no fear. So I don't understand why he would then shoot for the big dog. I don't understand why he would have no problem fighting against CM Punk. I don't quite understand how he would have no problem fighting against Jey Uso, who, if memory serves us correctly, he defeated for the Intercontinental Championship. Why would he hide behind Seth Rollins right now? Doesn't quite make any sense to me. He's literally beat everybody right now that's holding a championship belt. Besides John Cena. Why would he not go challenge Jacob Fatu? Why would he not go challenge Dominic Mysterio? Why would he not go challenge Jey Uso? Why is he just, like, he can literally do it all on his own. Why does he need to be with Seth Rollins? What is he gaining out of this? Like, okay, sure, some tutelage from the vets. But couldn't he just get that anyways? Anyways, this is actually a pretty solid match. Until the guys all end up outside the ring and Seth Rollins stomps Jey Uso, which leads to the match ending. And then CM Punk comes out to save everybody. And he should have just slapped Sami Zayn in the back with a chair here. Because Jey Uso is facing these problems because of you. Instead of you being a solid man's and telling Jey Uso, hey man, maybe we shouldn't worry about doing tag team matches a week before you're supposed to be defending your championship against Gunther. Maybe we shouldn't be doing tag team matches 2 weeks before you're defending your championship against Gunther. Maybe you shouldn't be doing a tag team match 3 days before challenging Gunther. Because this is all pointless. The guys before you didn't, you know what I'm saying, fight too much. Why are you doing it? I'm glad Karrion Kross shows up and lets Sami Zayn know about his BS. Brother, you a bad guy. Literally. Let's just give in and give us all what we've been waiting on. But it looks like CM Punk is never going to get out of the Seth Rollins vortex. So that's disheartening. We then get another randomly contrived match where KAIRI Sane is matching up against Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know what they're doing this for. I mean, honestly, it was like a robotic match. These two don't really have any good chemistry. But, I mean, Raquel's just looking for another reason to win. The sisters are probably going to fall apart because they haven't won anything individually since Liv's been back. They hadn't even really won much as a tag team. Io Sky, for some strange reason, decides to come out and save her sister KAIRI Sane, which leads to Raquel's head getting slammed against the ring post and an insane elbow. KAIRI wins and Io cheers her on. She acting like KAIRI ain't somebody who would want that championship from her. Whatever, though. I guess this is just great fodder for us to understand that Liv Morgan and Raquel are going to start becoming desperate. And again, there's no benefit for them to have Roxanne on the Judgment Day. So it's very apparent that Finn is just trying to destroy everything. And they can't blame anybody, though, for this one. So I think it's going to be the only compelling portion of this. But AJ Styles shows up to match up against El Grande Americano and CM Punk. I ain't gonna lie to you, CM Punk was looking washed in this match, dude. He was really looking like Unk. And I ain't gonna lie, CM Punk's one of my favorite wrestlers. But he was not able to hang with these boys right here. He may have hurt his knee in the match, I don't know. But yeah, he was looking rough. He disrespects Luchador El Grande Americano by trying to remove his mask. But I'll tell you, Grande Americano is amazing. Of course, this match doesn't go too long before CM Punk is jumped by these goons. And in the midst of all the chaos, El Grande Americano is able to slip a metal plate into his mask, and he's able to hit AJ Styles with a crazy headbutt and win the match. Then Seth Rollins comes out and just starts stomping everybody. And I'm not mad about it. Because Seth Rollins, he has a mission. And for some strange reason, Jey Uso and Sami Zayn keep poking their nose in this business. Even Gunther lets Jey Uso know right prior to this moment, backstage, that he's spreading himself too thin. If you recall, we saw the same thing happen that led to Seth Rollins losing the championship against Drew McIntyre. He was spreading himself too thin, wanted to be involved in so much so bad. He was literally begging Cody Rhodes to be his partner. And that led to him losing his championship match. Same thing Sami Zayn is doing. But Sami Zayn has no standing in any of this. I don't understand why he's geeking out to be a part of this so bad. Other than Sami Zayn is a freak when it comes to him wanting to get some popularity. Him wanting to receive some relevance. That's it. That's all he wants. And y'all cheer for this guy. I'm not gonna lie. Sami Zayn is a guy who's full of passion and energy, and his song is exciting. But dude, I mean, the character of Sami Zayn literally is a geek and freak when it comes to being around main eventers. And again, Sami Zayn could have just been a cool man and said Jey Uso stay in the back, but he didn't. So this just leads to Bronson Reed just smashing Jey Uso with a couple tsunamis, and we get Seth Rollins and his boys standing on top again. It's very possible that Paul Heyman is going to turn on Seth Rollins too, but this kind of seems like another continuation of something that we saw last week. I had to say most of the show was kind of like a nay. I mean, I didn't really get much progression, and everything just kind of was a repeat. Like, we've seen everything, all this stuff already. We've seen the problems in the Judgment Day. We've seen Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. I mean, we've seen Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. I'm sorry, Braun Breaker. We've seen this matchup between them and Jey Uso, and we've seen it literally twice in the same show. And honestly, why does CM Punk keep interjecting himself into this too? This dude even mentioned in his promo that Jey Uso was his buddy. Remember when CM Punk first showed up and said he's not in the WWE to make friends? But he keeps sticking up for people that supposedly are his friends. But then everybody else, it's not business, it's personal. And he even says he would cash in on Jey Uso because it's not business, it's personal. Tag team division getting nowhere. Only thing we can look forward to is what may go on between Becky Lynch and Lyra. At the very least, the women's Money in the Bank winner, that might be a little bit exciting. I don't understand why we would see Seth Rollins again win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Especially when he's able to do whatever he wants to do on Raw. What the heck would the Money in the Bank briefcase benefit him? What would that do for him? Why does Seth Rollins getting gold? Why is that important? If these guys can run around and do whatever they want to do all show. You should have won the championship against Jey Uso the other night. But you couldn't, even though you already got people on your side helping you out. Alright. Paul Heyman continues to find new opportunities to win, or to at least get a championship match. Why do you need a briefcase to do that? And what does you winning the belt do to help you sit at the top of the company and establish the future or create the future the way you want it to be created? You didn't do that prior. I don't understand. And why are these dudes following you around? Because what does it benefit them if you win the gold? I'll concede that at least Bronson Reed gets an opportunity to just destroy things. So that's good for him. Are there any other women, though, on the show? I just thought about that, too. I mean, we've been rehashing the same few women the last few weeks, too. Anyways, I mean, it was... I mean, if last week didn't happen, this was an okay episode, I guess. Being that we got a lot of wrestling, and there's at least some possible connection that we saw amongst everything that was on TV. It all pretty much revolves around the Judgment Day and Seth Rollins. But, I mean, not like we got any really good matches. I mean, there were some solid moments in the Grande Americano match. And that's really it. I mean, the crowd seemed to be more in tune to R-Truth not being a part of the company anymore than any of these matches. I mean, most of the matches were littered with "We Want Truth" chants. Most of the promos were littered with "We Want Truth" chants. And again, I mean, the Judgment Day didn't even have Carlito, so there's not really any brevity in this show either. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all feel about it in the comment section below. I'm out.